So guys, this is going to be something a little bit different. Over the years, and back before I had so many tractors, about this time of year I'd get them all out and take a picture of them all together. I was debating about doing that today, but I will tell you my back is just not feeling it. So we're going to settle for something a little bit different here. I got a list of all my tractors, and there's 3 pages worth. Don't mind the stuff to the right here. This is mainly all notes. It's actually good I printed this out. So regardless, we're going to start here in the shop. And I guess I'm going to try and go down through the list, but if I do that, I'm going to be skipping back and forth between a lot of buildings. So what I may do here is just put a little check mark as I go down through these. So, starting over here in the shop, we have, let's see, the oldest L I have is right here. And this is the 44L that I started building. And it is serial number 9191. And pretty much this tractor here, whenever I got it, had no tag on it. And it was basically just a cast iron lower end, an engine block, and the transmission. May or may not have come with a mower, I don't remember. I had this long before I started YouTube and came from a guy up the road where, let's see, what else came from him? The 64L over there, which we'll get to in a much later video. Well, in the video, anyhow. And the 70 Custom C came from him. So, but regardless, this tractor here, I was actually building and was going to restore until I ran across this next tractor over here, which is serial number 10,098, which is also a 44L. This tractor here is actually in a lot better, what do I want to say, cosmetic shape with all the right shifters and stuff. It still has the wood handles on it. That's why this tractor tends to reside in the shop here. And why it doesn't really sit outside. I take it to some shows just because it's cool, this tractor. And I think I have that noted in my notes. No, not so much. Not so much there, huh? But this tractor here needs the screen cleaned in the transmission. This is on my winter list. So from there, we go to my 48L, which is serial number 35967. And this tractor here was another tractor I bought early on. This tractor actually came from Freeport, Pennsylvania. I don't know if you'll be able to make out any of the stickers on there or anything, but basically it has a Freeport sticker on there where it came from a township over there. Something like that. I bought this with the gear reduction wheels on it. Sickle bar, a snowblower. I think that was it, because this was back, God, I was driving on my learner's permit whenever me and Mom went and picked this up. So that gives you guys an idea, because I've had my license since my junior year of high school. So, show you how old this tractor is. I really like this tractor. It's always been in nice shape. It's always a good running tractor. That's why I've taken it to shows. It is now smoking a little bit in its older age. I've used it for probably every bit of 15 years. I used to take the gear reduction wheels off and plow snow with it back in the early days. So from there we're going to switch to 49Ls, and this is where we're going to start jumping buildings here. So the 49L that is in here is serial number 43510, and this is the tractor I have the power wheelbarrow on. And this tractor come from a guy named Don, who in exchange for working on I think it was a 67 C8 he had, basically he gave me this and 2 other tractors, which are actually over in one tank garage, and we'll get to those. But this tractor here, well, a lot of things have been converted on it. It still has the original wood grips on handlebars. This one over here is worn a lot more, and that one over there is in a lot nicer shape. I may have actually stuck that on there. I don't remember. But regardless, it has the rubber intake on it and everything, which originally it would have had. Where's one at? Where's one at? Well, even, my 48 even has the rubber elbow, like the 52. would have had that intake on there, but the tractor is definitely not original. It's been converted to spin-on, oil filter. It has oil pressure gauge. And this tractor there, I actually do use it some, especially at shows with Gravedigger and whatnot, moving dirt. So there is another 49L we're going to glance over for right now. The 1950L, and this come from the Great Gravely Haul of 2012, where I got a whole pile of tractors, and this happened to be one of them. There's not a whole lot left original on this tractor. I think the cylinder is the only part that's original. If I'd have realized the transmission was cracked when the engine block was cracked, I'd have just took the cylinder and the fan shroud and put on another tractor and saved me a whole lot of work, but that's what happened. And this here is a decent running tractor. I just have the sprayer on it just because it was, it needed a tractor and a home to reside on. So from there, and we have 52 Navy L, which is the next one. And I think a lot of you guys know where this tractor came from. Came from Jake, aka 5 Tractor Guy, on YouTube here, and me and Jake used to talk a lot before he started the new business and whatnot. And once he got into that, he got busy, so I can't blame him a whole lot. I've gotten a whole lot busier since them days too. But that was how I ended up with this Navy L. Basically, he had no idea when he'd ever get to it, so he sold it off to me for a price, which was more than I'd pay for a Navy L. Mainly, I paid for the tag on the hood, as me and him discussed many times over the years. So, I actually did a lot of videoing of this tractor on YouTube when I did it, and you can see it's been sitting in the shop here for 2 years. I need to go through the motor and figure out why it will not pull start. And the other 52L I have is, let's see here. There we go. Is actually the one I have out front. Oh, I forgot to go over the serial numbers on the last two, didn't I? 52 Navy L, the serial number is 70914. The 50L is 48480. So from there, we're going to go to Big Blue, which is the 1953L. I have this tractor in here. I am going to work through its oil pressure problems this winter, so that's why it's gotten pushed in here. Also from the Great Gravely Haul, this came from my buddy Kenny down there when he was at his dad's place over there close Templeton, Fort City area. But tractor runs decent, has oil. It's got very low flow and very low pressure is the best way to explain it. So that's why you guys haven't seen this a whole lot, and it's on my list of things. And the other 53L is back here. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it actually. No, not really. You just have to take my word for it. And it is serial number 85743. And it is underneath the shelf back there behind the Yanmar, so you guys won't even be able to see it. But it's rusty. It runs good, and from what I remember, it smokes slightly. So that's kind of why it's tucked away up there in the corner, a rainy day sort of project. I could probably re-ring that and get away with it. 54L's in the other building. M6708. Okay, that is this 56Li. I have two 56Li's. One which runs and one that does not run, which is out in the metal shanty back there, if you guys can read my notes. But this one here is also a good running tractor. Just has a broken handlebar on it. And it has a cracked rotary cultivator on. And what I'm kind of doing is I've kind of decided I really don't have a need for gardening, at least as much stuff as I have. I legit have 4 or 5 of these rotary cultivators floating around. And this one here is cracked, so I just left it on this tractor and I'd go up through the rows after they had been cultivated up and just break the stuff up with it. But I haven't done that for years. So we'll just keep moving down through the line here. So I have a 57Li, which again, you guys just have to take my word for it. It's back there with the 53L behind the Yanmar. And it's serial number M22245. And the number's actually stamped in the shroud, and that thing smokes like a train. I'm thinking what happened to it, the rings broke. I had it running originally whenever I got it, and I was going down around back here. All of a sudden it shut off and started smoking, and I've got it running again, and it still smokes terribly, but it's on my list of things. The Southern Region 57Ls in the other building, and my 58Li, which is serial number M30584, which was actually my grandpa's Li. Whenever I started getting into tractors, I had my dad's 62 Li, which the fan shroud is the fan sticking out up there. And that tractor actually went along, shut off, and I never got it running again. I put the mag off of this tractor on it, had it running, wouldn't shut off with this mag. I don't know why. It works fine on this tractor, but not on that. So regardless, this tractor here is fairly, kind of say sentimental, even though my grandpa never used this. My great uncle did a lot. So, yeah, I try to keep it in good running shape, and like I've mentioned in videos, it smokes now. And it's due for a rebuild, a top-end rebuild. I've done it 2 or 3 times over the years. So now we're going to move into more interesting stuff. The 59LS, serial number M48535, is floating behind it back there. And that was a tractor I bought from a guy. I always wanted an LS to do gardening, and pretty much that's what I did with it. The whole time I've owned that tractor, only thing it's ever done is run that rotary cultivator. And it's done pretty good at that. I finally got the carburetor straightened out. I just kind of, I don't know. I've either started getting lucky, or I've learned a lot more about adjusting carburetors since I was 16. Good possibility, but another good running tractor. Just doesn't get pulled out and used a whole lot. And obviously it's been repainted, and it's kind of ugly, but it does, you know, does work just fine. So from there, we'll go to the 59Li, which is M55262, and I know the manufacturing number on this thing is Warway, but it is a C, which makes it a 59, but the serial number is a 60. And this right here would be tractor number 4. And I bought this from a guy about an hour from here. This actually has the transmission and the lower end out of my dad's tractor. And the only thing on this tractor that isn't from my dad's tractor is the electric start, the hood, the gas tank, and the fan shroud. Now, hindsight is always 20/20, and probably what I should have done is just move the fan shroud over from my dad's tractor to here. But, you know, looking back at it now, you can say you should have done this or that, but I didn't at the time. And my dad's tractor was set up with light switches and everything on it, so it set up the same way, except my dad's tractor didn't have a light. So something interesting for you guys. From there, the 1960 LS, which is back behind this wall. So back in here, you guys can see the 60 LS. This tractor has electric start. Came from my buddy, or a friend, acquaintance, tractor club buddy, Glenn's place. Whenever I did that big clean out here, I guess it's been about 1.5 years ago now. Bought this tractor, got it running just because it was an LS. And again, I put a cultivator on the front, planning to use it for gardening. I kind of quit gardening, so what I may end up doing, and I've been debating about this, I have an MA210 blower, an extra one at this point, and I would like to set it up on an L. I've never ran an MA series on an L. This may be the tractor that gets it. So From there, just a 61 fan shroud. And my dad's 62 Li, which is M82205, and that is right now just a fan shroud. And now we get back into the 63 L8s. Most of this stuff is in here. The 163 Li is in the other building. So, first 63 L8 we'll go over is M95573. And it is the one right here with the buzzsaw on. I got this tractor about 2013. I put another cylinder on it because the cylinder was cracked. And actually in these 1963s I've had terrible luck with cracked cylinders. And I got it running. It is an amazing running tractor. I had this tractor over at the farm this year. I didn't really cut with it. I don't even know if I started it at the farm, to be honest. I took it over there just figure if I broke the tractor the whole way and really wanted to keep going, I could. Never did. So, not a whole lot to say about that tractor, but this is the first year of the 2-speed Swifty diffs. So, that made this tractor kind of nice. And then we're going to move over to serial number 95843, which is the 63 L8 and the Phoenix over there. Hold on, my notes are running together. I'm looking at this. I really don't do a good job of organizing that. Okay, yeah. But this was the one that come from the, went through the fire over there. And he basically gave it to me to, because he figured it was parts, and I ended up getting it running really nice, and it runs the chainsaw attachment that's on there really good. And I've enjoyed using it quite a lot. From there, we'll move over to the tractor next to it, which is actually on the next page, which is a 64 L8. I got 3 pages worth of tractors, by the way, guys, so bear with me here. Nope. One too many pages. Okay, 64 L8 2M17047. And I got this tractor. God, I was still hauling stuff with my blue truck when I got this tractor, so I wasn't working yet when I got this tractor. Do I have it wrote down in my notes? I'm thinking I got it in 2011 is what my notes have, all that sort of stuff wrote down, guys, because there will come a time that I will not remember. But 64 L8, this tractor runs amazing. That's about all I can say with it. It really runs great. The only 2 issues it has a oil leak around the oil pump area. I never have looked at it because it's really not that bad. If you keep the oil topped off, it's fine while you're running it. But you leave it sit for, you know, a year in a spot and it leaks down to the add line. But otherwise, the outside dual on the right hand side over there goes flat, but is a good / great tractor. So from there, I think we're going to be jumping a lot of stuff here. Actually, no, not too far, because the 65... I have it wrote down... Wait a minute. 65 L8... Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. 65 L8 2M227... Yeah. 2M22799. This tractor here actually came from a place where I've been helping a guy out with some tractors, and I bought a bunch of tractors over the last year or so. And he found this in the weeds last winter. You guys saw I got it home, got it running. This is actually a nice running tractor too. It does have an oil leak down there. I don't know if you guys can see the puddle. But otherwise it works pretty good. I ended up selling the brush hog that was on it just because the bearings were toast in the brush hog. So that is that. 66 the other shed, 424s, 430s. Alright, something that is in here is my 1970 C8, and this was tractor number 3. I've had this tractor oh, I know that's not right. Because I have wrote down, oh, I have one tractor on here that I never took out of here. See, that's why I'm looking at this. There's another 1970 C8 I had, and I actually sold. Okay, I'll have to go in and correct that. So I got one less tractor than I think. Anyhow, this 1970 C8 is J62199. And according to this, I've had this tractor since 2007, which sounds about right. The reason I remember that, 2007, excuse me, 2007, my mom got a new truck, and I remember hauling this tractor home in my mom's old truck. So, give you an idea how long I've had that tractor. So, I would bet you 06-ish, maybe 05-ish, but this was tractor number 3. The 58 Li was number 2. This was number 3. And once you start getting past these 3 or 4 tractors, then things start getting a little fuzzy. I didn't write stuff down, and I didn't do YouTube, but this is a 1970 super convertible, 2-speed axle. Would have had a governor on it. I ended up setting this one up with light switches and a light, and it has the kill switch on the handlebar, and it has a utility scoop on it right now. When I originally got this tractor, it had a 30-inch deck, which is on another tractor I have, and then I bought a 40-inch deck, which is now on Wally, which was on this tractor with duals originally. And I used to do a lot of snowblowing with this tractor. It used to be my main, pretty much my main tractor. This one here I've never actually rebuilt, but has a lot of hours on it for the amount of time I've used it, but it's been a really good tractor. I'm actually losing my voice now. Great. So from here, I think that's pretty much everything in this shed except for the 5240, which you guys have seen now recently. Let me find that on paper here. There it is. I just don't have the number in it with the 5240. But the 5240 looks like it's serial number 538271, 1982. And this tractor here, a guy gave to me. Basically, it had a surge at idle, and pretty much gave it to me. And it's been a great, another great running tractor. Haven't used it extensively. I used to haul it to shows a lot because it was in such nice shape. At this point, sitting in the barn for 2 years. You guys can see it needs cleaned. So we'll stroll over here, and I guess we'll go with the oldest first, which is a 1973 408, and it's serial number 4775, and the 408s had separate serial numbers from everything else at this point. I bought this tractor really cheap a long time ago with another tractor, which I had a 74 408, but I sold that. And for right now, I still have this tractor. I like this tractor. It's a good running tractor. It's getting to the point it's probably going to need a drive belt. And what else is messed up on it? Throttle cable's messed up on it, and could use some tubes in the front tires, but another good one. Over here we have the 1976 408, the red and whites. Give me a second here, looking for the number. It is a 218077. This one here has a snowplow on it and the lights. This is a good running tractor. I don't have any issues with this tractor. I probably should check the transmission oil, but another really good tractor. So from here, I think that's everything covered in this building, at least out here. I'll go back into the lean-to back here, and we'll get those covered, and then we'll go over and hit the L's. So we'll start back in through here. It's something I kind of glanced over. I guess I could have walked back here. It is a 1970 CI, and it's tractor number J57226 that I put underneath the Gravedigger, or my Terramite backhoe attachment. And this tractor here also came from the Great Gravely Haul. And another one I got running, got idling, really, it's pretty good. It's not by no means perfect, but it runs Gravedigger alright, and that's the main point of it. And from here we'll segue over here to the 1971 432, which I actually need my other sheet. And it is serial number 8343A. This tractor here I bought at the 2014 Windsor Mow-In. Can I focus there, camera? There we go. And it had the front drive kit on it. This was my second 400, I think. I'm pretty sure this was the second. But this was the one that actually ran and didn't knock. So this tractor here, I have used it a lot over the years. Now it has kind of gone to just my power brooming tractor. I want to set up the new style power broom on it, but I have issues with that. That's a whole nother video. So from there, segue over to what I believe is a 1975 C10A, yep. And it is serial number J119062. And I've got this tractor within the last 2 years. And it's another good running tractor, and the Mountaineer deck I got on it works pretty decent. Some things are really rusty on it, so it can make it difficult. But the tractor itself, darn good running tractor. As you can see, it's got a deck on it. It's got some leaves on top of it. I've mowed with it a lot. And we'll hit the 2 Gs I have right here. This is a 1987 12G. And let me see here. 12G. This is serial number 597013. And this tractor here was a trade-in at work, and you guys have recently seen me pull this in the shop and get it running again. And as you guys can see, I need another part. Tire started going flat on it as soon as I started using it, so I have tubes ordered. We will get that baby fixed here. But I've been out mowing with it since that video, and everything is working great. Behind it, we have the 1988 16G, serial number 604434. This was also a trade-in at work. I actually paid a lot more money for this 16G than I should have with a deck and a snow blade, but what are you going to do? At the time, this was my only G-Series tractor once I bought it. Since added the front drive kit, and obviously as you guys can tell, the cab, and you guys have seen that in numerous videos over the years. It recently just went in the shop, got a tire tubed on it, and it's pretty much ready for winter, except the obvious part, the blower. But it's been a good running and decent tractor too. I can't complain that I've done a whole lot to it over the years that I can remember. Other than the headlights, and I forgot this 12G here, I have fixed the wiring in the headlights when I got it. It was completely ripped out for some reason, but another nice pair of tractors. So from here, let's go over to the other tank garage and we'll get most of the L's knocked out of the way here. And I don't know if I want to splice all the L's together by year and then splice the riders in by year, or if I just want to leave this randomness in and you guys can figure out how many buildings I got stuff stored in. See all my papers strewn about here. Oh, and I guess last but not least in here, my what I believe it's either a 2010 or a 2012 SC2450 Yanmar. It's so new I won't give you guys the serial number and whatnot, but you guys have seen this countless videos, do countless things, and pretty much take the licking and keep on ticking sort of deal. And it is now, it has around 467 hours on it, I think. I've put 60 hours on it just this year. Doing a lot of mowing and a lot of digging and moving stuff around. So From there, let's segue over to the tent garages, boys.